Okay, good morning. Last class we have seen the realization of direct form 1 and direct form 2 structures, and we have completed one problem. Okay, so today we'll complete the second two more problems and we'll move on to the other form. Okay, so last class we have completed the direct form 1 for this problem, I think. Is it right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now we'll move on to direct form 2 for the same problem. So in direct form 2, what you are going to do, you are going to introduce a new variable w of z. Okay, so what is your transfer function? It will be y of z divided by x of z. Okay, so here you are going to introduce a new variable w of z. For that, what you're going to do is you're going to multiply and divide the variable to this transfer function. Okay, so y of z divided by x of z into w of z divided by w of z you're going to introduce. Okay, so here what you're going to take is you're going to divide the output term with w of z, and for x of z you are going to take w of z as a numerator value. Okay, so you get two terms here. Okay, so the first term will be your new transfer function h1 of z, and the second term will be the transfer function h2 of z. So you're getting two transfer functions, okay, when you introduce a new variable. So how you can draw this realization structure using the new variable? First we'll see that. So for direct form 1, we have obtained h1 of z and h2 of z. Do you remember this? Your numerator will be your h1 of z and denominator will be your h2 of z. Okay, so with this value only you are going to proceed with direct form 2. So direct form 1, 2 cannot be realized as such. Okay, so with the direct form 1 only you can realize the direct form 2 structure. So with this our answer or the transfer function which you have obtained in direct form 1, you're going to use that value and you're going to do some operations, just cross multiplying. Okay, so that is the only thing you're going to do here. No mathematical formula, nothing. So first you are going to take h1 of z. Okay, so what is h1 of z? From this we know that y of z divided by w of z is your h1 of z. So write that first. And you know h1 of z from the direct form 1, which is 1 plus 0.5 z power minus 1 plus 0.4 z power minus 2. So write this value here. Okay, so your h1 of z will be very simple when you have obtained the direct form 1 realization. Okay, so just copy the structure answer and you're going to write. Okay, and what about this h2 of z? So h2 of z is nothing but w of z divided by x of z. So you know x of z value from this, which is nothing but this denominator. Okay, so write this value in the denominator part. So you have to introduce in the denominator part, not in the numerator part as in h1 of z. Okay, so you have to introduce the term in the denominator side. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to find w of z. Can you find w1 of z w of z from this equation, second one? Can you find it?
Yes, ma'am.
How? You're going to just cross multiply and you're going to obtain w of z. Okay. So cross multiply this term and find out what is w of z. Okay. So first term is 1. So 1 into w of z is w of z, and w of z into zero point 0.6 z power minus 1 you multiply and write, and you multiply w of z with zero point 0.7 z power minus 2. So you obtain these three terms and you're going to cross multiply this one and write it on the other side of the equation. So you will be getting z of x, x of z on the other side. Okay. So just cross multiply and write. Now you have this w of z term here. Okay. So bring all the other terms to the other side of the equation and you can find w of z from this equation. Okay. So first you're going to, for direct form 2, you're going to introduce a new variable w of z, and you're going to find h1 of z and h2 of z. So with h2 of z, you're going to find w of z. Okay. But we know y of z divided by w of z equal to this one. From the h1 of z value, you know this value, right? So what will be your output? So why you are finding this w of z here? So in direct form 2 realization, you have this intermediate variable w of z, and you have to know this output. Okay, so for finding the output only, we have simplified the equation from h2 of z. Okay, now what you're going to do is you need the output value also. So you need the intermediate output as well as the final output. So what is your final output? It will be y of z. So you have to find y of z also. So y of z can be found from h1 of z. Okay. So take this term and cross multiply. Okay. So you'll be getting y of z. Okay. After obtaining these two values, that is w of z and y of z, you can draw this diagram, direct form 2 realization for the particular transfer function.